Let me tell you a little bit about subscription box. Let me tell you how is it possible to fit so many items that sells in department stores with such a high ticket value inside of a box that costs $25. And the reason I say that it's because there are plenty of people that enjoy that, but some people from the outside many times questions how is it possible. One thing we don't do, we don't change the quality of the product, we don't change the formula of the product. Okay, what can we do? In some cases, we might change the packaging. And in the last 6 years, after having hundreds or maybe thousands of different SKUs, I can say that I can count on one hand how many times we have asked the brand to change the packaging, which I got no problem with. As long as the formula is there, I can afford placing their product. Sometimes it's because the cost of goods is too high with the current packaging that the brand have, but many times it's delivery date, a component might be too slow to be manufactured and we need that in a particular month, so it's easier and faster to deliver the product in a different component. But that's pretty much the only time we would change something. Other than that, it is the same exact item that you'll see in department store on our end. Many times there are those questions of, but is it really possible? Is it possible that there's another version that goes into a subscription box that's cheaper? Bullshit. Never ever. The whole purpose of what we did with Boxycharm when we started was to allow getting the full experience out of a product, making sure that the product is going to be tried and you get to decide if you like the product or not. And if hopefully you fall in love with the product and you repurchase the product, and the brands get the marketing exposure. It costs them nothing because we pay the manufacturing cost, and for you guys, you get to sample something, you get the experience of a discovery box, and get to be a better and more educated consumer by the end of the day. And that's it. There are hundreds of items. I probably can't tell you that every item that goes into the box in the next few months, but in some cases, you'll see products made in China. Sometimes they're going to be made in Taiwan, sometimes in the US, and sometimes in Italy. It really depends. We get them all. We like the product. If the cost of goods makes sense, we get it in. If not, I got cut off. It was too many stories. So technically, if we look at the product, we like it, we get it. We don't go back to the brand and say, move manufacturers. We're going to have a product. We have this month product by, say, Seattle, London, a marbleized blush. And in about few months, you're going to see another one that's a very similar blush. And we feel like you need to try both formulas. So another one called the Ambience Blush by Hourglass. Wasn't planning on giving you that sneak peek, but here it is. Okay, so we'll work with every brand, every product. Each one was made in a different place. Everyone has a different formula. Our concept is try as many items as you can with that cost. See what you like it, buy it. You don't like it, you get to try the product from the brands. We go through a creation process. If we like the product, we'll buy it. We don't go back to a manufacturer or to a brand and ask them to reduce the cost for us by going to another one. It doesn't work like this. We have plenty of items coming in, and many of them are within our budget, and we get the right items. And like I said, this is something that I'm proud of. I mean, when I started the company, and this is the biggest question, like, where did you find your angle? Where did you start Boxycharm and why? Well, when I started Boxycharm, the subscription box was sample size, and the brands were giving for free their products to the boxes. When I started, I figured, well, how about I'll do a full-size product and I'll pay the manufacturing cost. This way, I don't just get whatever they have on hand because I'm getting it for free. I will actually be selective and ask them, just give me an item that I want and I feel that my members would like to place. And it doesn't cost you a penny because I'll pay you the manufacturing cost. And that was a win-win situation for everyone. Brand don't have to pay nothing. They don't have to go through product development to do a sample size. It's more of a headache to do a sample size. You have to produce a product technically. When you have a full size that was already developed, it's easier. You have to do nothing. And that was our concept. That's how we started our entire business. And I'm proud because it's something that have changed the industry. Now I think everyone is moving to full size, and that's what it is. So a lot of new, cool, exciting things are coming in. I already leaked something. The Hourglass Ambience Blush is going to come in, and you have no idea what else is coming in. So stay tuned. I'm not done. I have a couple more things. So here's the thing. So when I started this, and we ran into a point where we called brands and we asked them to get the full-size product, it wasn't easy. It wasn't smooth. Even though we told them, look, don't give us anything for free like you work with the rest of the boxes. We'll pay. Guess what? It wasn't smooth. Many brands said, we get it. That's awesome. We love it. But some, were apprehensive because they say, I want people to replenish my product. I want to sample my product. I'm comfortable with my product. I want to make sure that I get people back. And if it's going to be my full size, it will take them a year or so to run through a product. But we told them, look, think of it as a bigger way. I mean, if you place pressed items, yes, it would take a while to replenish. Yes, it probably would be, by the time they want to replenish, it would take too long. But they'll visit your gondola, they'll visit your website, they'll like your performance or your story behind your brand. So, in time we kind of learned that there are a couple types of people. There are those who want clean beauty and it's all about environmental. And then there was the other group that wants performance. And our job is to make sure that you get to try it all and you get to decide what items you want. So if you have more clean, you're going to have more clean, and we're not going to be judges for it. You are, but we're going to sample it for you. That was our kind of like a premise going into the market. And in time, more and more brands learn that it's safe to produce a full-size product. And I'll give you one example. When we are really good friends with the owner of Pretty Vulgar, and we were trying to get them into the box around 2017, but they were running through some challenges because Sephora were apprehensive of giving full-size items into a box at the time, and they told them, do not give them a full size other than a lipstick because it would take a while for anyone to replenish. But eventually they told them, look, if we're going to go in with Boxycharm, our cost of goods is going to decrease, the manufacturing cost, because right now we're producing small quantities. Going into a box, it would be just such a huge amount. The manufacturer gives us a much better rate because of that. So it would reduce our manufacturing cost. They finally were able to convince them, and they had a blush in 2018. I think it was March 2018. They ran out of blushes in Sephora during the month of feature. Sephora called them and say, what happened? We couldn't keep your blush in stock. They told them, because we went with... I keep getting cut off Instagram. You need to stop it. You gotta let me keep talking, all right? That doesn't work. I kind of lost my train of thought, but we showcased their product and they ended up running out of products. And in time, more and more brands learned that they get to showcase their products. People go back and visit their gondola, just like it happened with Pretty Vulgar. They ran out of their products in a month of feature for the product that they actually featured that they thought no one's going to want to replenish. It wasn't about the replenishment. It was about the buzz that happened, and more people wanted to visit their gondola and place more orders. So when we do anything with the brand, the idea is that the brand understand that if the product has a great performance or a great story, it will bring more people into their circle. It would create community. This is their new way of marketing. That's why Boxycharm is here. That's why we make sure that quality is above all what's important. Like I said, some people care about the brand story. If it's going to be talking about skincare, there's going to be different types of skincare levels. Like I said, there's clean beauty, there's other ones. In terms of makeup, some want high performance, pigmentation, everything else. Some want to make sure that it's more of a clean side. We're going to place everything in a box. You get to try what works for you. And ultimately, I want to make sure that when we change, we really believe we have changed the industry because of the fact that many people can go and start. We can have a brand that was just introduced to the public and turn into something all of a sudden where hundreds of thousands or potentially 1 million people get to sample their products over a very short period of time to create a buzz. This is what we're doing, and this is why many brands are jumping in, working with us, and I'm very glad. I think the biggest badge of honor is the fact that I think every subscription box out there understand that they have to move into full size. That's nothing but a badge of honor, and I'm glad to see that. This is something that have modified the industry and changed everything. People have a lot of products to try, and you make more educated consumers. So if any one of you ever want to start a business one day, do not stop because people tell you can't do it or it's not going to work, because that's all I heard for 6 years. When members told me it's not going to work, people are not going to give you the full size. It did work. And now here we are. So go make it happen, create the opportunity.